Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This video is for class 9 computer application, chapter 6, that is cyber safety. The complete chapter is included in this video, and this video can be referred as a quick revision for the whole chapter. So let's begin. Let's see the overview of this video. So this video lets you know what is cyber safety, then identity protection while using the internet, proper uses of the password, confidentiality of the information, online safety and malware. Then we come to know what is cybercrime. Along with that, different types of the cybercrime. And after that, you come to know who is a hacker and what is hacking and different types of hacking also. So let's begin this chapter. So what is cyber safety? What comes into your mind? What is cyber safety? Cyber safety refers to the safe and responsible use of internet so as to ensure the safety and security of the personal information and not posing any threat to anyone else's information. It also involves the gaining of knowledge about all the possible threats to personal safety and security risk for the information, and along with the preventive measures so that we can counter them. Now the next we'll see the identity protection while using the internet. Nowadays we are using internet for the various reasons, from using the social media, online shopping to sending information, etc. In all this activity, we need to give out our personal data, that is called the private data. We trust them that they will use our information in a valid purpose, but it is not always true. Our financial and personal data can be used for the harmful reasons like hacking, stacking, and identity fraud. These are all the things we'll discuss in this video in more details. So what is financial and personal data? Financial data includes all your information related to your bank, your credit card, your debit card, etc. And your personal data includes all your information related to your name, email ID, mobile number, your personal details, etc. Now let's see how the different website tracks you. There are many ways are there. Let's see one by one. The first way is IP address. Using the IP address, the website tracks us. IP address stands for Internet Protocol Address. So IP address is the unique address of your device when you connect to the internet. It is likely that your computer shares your IP address with the other network devices in your house or office. So from your IP address, a website can determine your rough geographical location. Now the next is the cookies and tracking scripts. What is cookies? Cookies is simply like a small text file which stores your information in a browser. Cookies are sometimes useful and sometimes harmful. So they have plenty of legitimate uses. For example, when you sign up into your online banking website, cookies remembers your login information. When you change a setting on the website, the cookies stores that setting so it can persist across the page loaded and the session. For example, you change the zoom percentage of your web page, then this setting will reflect on all the open web pages because this was stored in the cookies. And the cookies can also identify you and track your browsing activities across a website. These cookies can be of two types. Cookies can be of first type cookies or third type cookies. First party cookies are the cookies that stores your own login ID, password, autofill information, etc. for some website that you frequently visit. And there is another type of cookies that is called the third party cookies. And these are the cookies that website is stored to know about your search history and your web browsing history so as to place advertisement as per your interest. And these third-party cookies may result in many unwanted advertisement on your web pages. So these third-party cookies are dangerous than the first-party cookies. Next is HTTP referrer. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. This is another tool that websites use to track us. So when you click a link, your browser loads the web page linked to it and tells the website where you come from. For example, if you click a link to the outside website on the web page, then the linked website will get open and internally information about you such as your IP address, location, your web browser, machine type, etc. will also be provided to the linked website. And this is a HTTP referrer. The next is super cookies. These super cookies are also a type of the cookies, but these are persistent cookies. They come back even after you delete them. Super cookies like ever cookies means that can store your cookie data in a multiple places. For example, in a flash cookies, Silverlight storage, your browsing history, and the HTML local storage, etc. So when the website notice that you have deleted a part of the super cookies, the information is repopulated from other location. So for example, you might clear your browser cookies and not your flash cookies. So the website will copy the value of the flash cookies to your browser cookies. And mostly this ISPs, that is the Internet Service Provider, can inject the super cookies to improve their advertising revenue and shares your data to other companies. And the worst part of these super cookies is that the internet user have no control over this threat to their privacy. So this super cookies is very dangerous and this could lead to the leaking of the private data, government surveillance, and the exploit by the cyber criminals. And the last, that is another important, that is called the user agent. User agent can be any software that retrieves and presents the web content for the end users or is implemented using the web technologies. So user agent includes the web browser, media players, and the plugins that helps in retrieving, rendering, and interacting with the web content. So your browser also sends a user agent every time you connect to a website. This tells website, your browser, and the operating system, and providing another piece of data that can be stored and used by the target ads. So all these, including the IP address, cookies, HTTP referrer, super cookies, user agent, can leak your identity information to the website and it may be used against you. So let's see the solution of this. So what is the proper solution of this? The proper solution of this is a proper browsing. So let's see the browsing. Browsing means accessing information over the internet. There are two ways of safe browsing. One is the private browsing and another is anonymous browsing. So first of all, see the anonymous web browsing. Anonymous web browsing refers to the utilization of World Wide Web, that is www, that hides the user personally identifiable information from the website visited. Next is the private browsing. Our private browsing is a feature that major web browsers offers to help you to keep your temporary browsing data private. So when using the private browser, your browser history, search record, and cookies are not taken. And the best example is incognito tool that are provided in most of the web browsers. Apart from these two, that is the private browsing and anonymous browsing, we can also use the proxy and the VPN, that is a virtual private network. In short, let me tell you about this proxy and a VPN. A proxy works like a middleman between your computer and the website you want to access. So now when we are using the proxy, the tracking website will get the IP address and the information that belongs to the proxy site, and so you are effectively getting the same content from another source without it getting to know your browsing details. And in case of the VPN, that is a virtual private network, it is a method used to add the security and the privacy to the private and a public network. Like we can say the example like a Wi-Fi hotspot and the internet. So VPN are most often used by the corporations to protect the sensitive data. VPNs were originally meant for the business employees working offsite to gain the access to the shared drives and networks. So nowadays we can even use the VPN at our home also. Now let's move to the next topic. The next is the proper usage of the password. So for the security reason, a password plays an important role. A password provides the first line of the defense against unauthorized access to your computer and the personal information. So, the stronger your password, the more protected your computer will be from the hackers and the malicious software. So, you should maintain the strong password for all the accounts on your computer. How this strong password helps? So, this strong password helps to keep your personal information safe. This will protect your email files and other content, and this may prevent someone from breaking into your account. The question is how we can choose the good and strong password. So some of the points I have mentioned here. The first is, while choosing the good and strong password, use a mix of the upper and lower case alphabets and the numeric characters. Second, never use dictionary words, proper nouns, or the foreign words. The third, do not include your personal information in a password. The fourth important thing is use longer password. The next important thing is use the passphrases to remember the complex password. Passphrases means instead of keeping the single word, we can combine the two or three words and keep the password. And the one important thing about the password is do not repeat the password on a different website. So keep different password on a different website or a different account. After the password, the next important thing, confidentiality of information. So now we'll see the confidentiality of information. What is confidentiality? Confidential information is a personal information shared with only the few people for a designated purpose. The person who is receiving the information from you, the receiver, generally cannot take the advantage and use your information for their personal gain, such as giving the information out to the unauthorized third parties. That is where the confidentiality contract would come in to prevent misuse of your personal information. So we can understand the confidentiality of the information that it ensures that only unauthorized users get access to the sensitive and the protected data, not any unauthorized person. The question is how we can maintain this confidentiality of information. The question is how we can maintain the confidentiality of information. For this, let's see the next topic, that is the best practices to ensure confidentiality. The first practice is always use the firewall wherever possible. So firewall is a program that monitors all the communications and traps all the illicit or harmful packets coming into your computer. Most operating systems now come with the firewall pre-installed, but however, such as the Windows firewall, only block suspect incoming communication, leaving completely open access to the internet from your machine. So it is recommended that you can install the firewall that can monitor both incoming and outgoing communication and trap the illicit ones or the harmful packets. The next important point is control the browser setting to block the tracking. As I told you, uh, all the browsers tracks your browsing history, tracks your browsing habits. So in order to minimize the threats, you can turn the default browser setting to exclude the cookies, especially the third-party cookies, since they can use to build up detailed profile of your surfing patterns over the time. Next important thing is browse privately wherever possible. So to avoid the tracking by the website, you should try to browse the internet privately wherever possible. The next is be careful while posting anything on the internet. So you should know that the posting is a public. So when you post anything to the public internet, such as the social networking site like Instagram or the Facebook, etc., you generally give up the right to the content and any expectation of the privacy or the confidentiality. So in most of the countries, anything you post to the public space can be saved, archived, or duplicated, distributed, and published even years later by anyone's in the same way as a photograph taken in the public space like a city park. So ensure that you never post your crucial information like your personal details like address, mobile phone number, bank details, credit card details, etc. on a public internet site. Next is ensure the safe site while entering the crucial information. Sometimes we have need to provide your crucial information such as your personal details or bank details, etc. The next is carefully handle the emails. So carefully handle the emails means while opening the email, make sure that you know the sender. Even if open the email message by accidentally, make sure that not to open the attachment in an email from unrecognized source. So email containing the sensitive information should be deleted securely. Next important is ensure that the web address contains the HTTPS or HTTP and the log sign. These two things ensures you that a website or a web page is secure. Next is do not give the sensitive information on the wireless network. Sometimes we get access to some wireless connections such as the Wi-Fi connections available on the airport, railway stations. So while using such Wi-Fi connections, make sure not to open any sensitive information or provide any sensitive information on the website. The reason is that most free wireless networks are not encrypted, and hence the information on it can be tapped and used for the fraud purpose. The next important is avoid using the public computers. Public computers means cyber cafe. So always try not to use the public computer, especially if you have to deal with your crucial data. But it is not possible to avoid always. So if you need to work on the public computer, then make sure that you should browse privately first of all, and second thing is don't save your login information, and third, the most important, never save your password while working on the public computers. So these are some important or we can say the best practices that helps you to ensure your confidentiality of information. Now let's move to the next topic. So our next topic is online safety. Online safety is also referred as internet safety or cyber safety, and this is simply trying to be safe on the internet and is the act of maximizing the user's awareness of the personal safety and security. And when we talk about the personal safety and security, the one terms comes in mind, that is called the malware. A malware is any software intentionally designed to cause the damage to the computer, server, clients, or the computer network. The word malware is formed from two words, that is malicious and software. Malicious means harmful and software means set of the programs. So this term malware is used to describe any malicious program on the computer or a mobile device, and these programs are installed without the consent of the user and can cause a number of unpleasant effects such as the crimping the computer performance and mining your system for the personal data, erasing the data, and even adversely affecting the operation of the computer. So these malwares can be of many types. So let's see one by one. So this malware includes the viruses, worms, trojans, spywares, ransomware, adware. Apart from this, there are some other malwares are also there, but as per the syllabus, we'll discuss about these six. Let's understand one by one. These viruses, the computer viruses are the malicious program, or we can say the malicious code that cause the damage to the computer and the files on the computer system. These viruses can attack any part of the computer's software, such as the we can say the operating system, application software, or even it can affect the boot sector, etc. Next is the worms. Worms is also another malware that have the property of self-replicating. It is a self-replicating program which eats up the entire disk or entire the memory, and this worms keeps on creating its copies until all the disk space and the memory is filled. The third important is the Trojan, and Trojan, its name is a Trojan horse. So Trojan horse is a program that appears harmless. That is, it looks like a text editor or the utility program, but actually it performs the malicious functions such as deleting or damaging the files. The next is important malware is the spyware. And spyware, as the name says, spying, that is looking over or jasusi karna. So spyware is a software which is installed on your computer to spy on your activities and reports this data to the people willing to pay for it. It tracks the user's behaviors and reports the information back to the central source or the central purpose. Information, this your spied information, can either be used for the legal and illegal purpose. The next is the ransomware. A ransomware is another malicious program which affects your computer by encrypting the sensitive data such as your personal documents, photos, etc. And they demand a ransom. Ransom means some amount, or we can say the firoti for their this. If you refuse to pay, they may delete your data also. So this is about the ransomware. The next is adware. This is another malicious program. Worst part of this program is that this delivers unwanted ads to your computer, generally in the form of the pop-ups, and it consumes your network bandwidth. Adware is similar to the spyware, however it may be installed with your consent. So it is advised that you thoroughly read the installation agreement, or we can say the terms and conditions, before you allow the installation of any software on your computer system. So let's see the damages caused by the malware. So when the malware enters to a computer system, the first of all, it may delete or damage our files if the viruses comes. Similarly, if the worms enter to a computer system, it may slow down our computer. Next is, our malware may invade our email program. Malware can also um, makes the our hardware failure. One type of threat is called DOS attack, that is a denial of service attack. In such case, your hardware will be present but will not be accessible for the use. That is the hardware failure. Next is the data loss and the data theft. This malware can also changes your PC settings or personal computer settings. If the adware comes to your computer system, so adware may be used in the form of the spyware and can tracks your information. Next is this malware display the array of annoying advertisement. So these are the some bad effects, or we can say it's some damages caused by the malware to a computer system. The next we'll discuss about the safety measures. The question is how we can overcome from this malware. There are two ways are there. One is the active measures and second is the preventive measures. So active measures include the use of the antivirus and the anti-spyware. So better we can install the antivirus. Always use the licensed antivirus, purchase the licensed antivirus and install it. I suggest you can use any total security where you will get the antivirus, anti-spywares, anti-adwares, etc. as well as the firewall also you'll get. Apart from that, you should always download the updates regularly. And the third important thing is that remember to run the frequent full system scan. Under the preventive measures, we should use the firewall. We should keep our system up to date. Use the caution while downloading the files from the internet. And the first important, that is always disable the cookies if possible. So these are the safety measures that anybody can apply to make the computer system safe and secure. Now moving to the next topic, that is the cybercrime. Let's understand what is cybercrime and the different types of cybercrime. So cybercrime is a computer oriented crime, that is a crime that done with the help of the computer and internet. So offenses that are committed against the individual or a group of the individual with a criminal motive to intentionally harm the reputation of the victim or cause the physical or the mental harm or the loss to the victim directly or indirectly using any modern telecommunication network such as the internet and the mobile phones. So cyber crimes is growing rapidly nowadays. So some of the major crimes that comes under cyber crime are phishing, cyberbullying, hacking, credit card frauds, illegal downloading, child pornography, cyber tracking or online harassment, then spam. Then we can see the cyber troll, spreading the rumors online, cyber terrorism, then cyber extortion, cyber warfare, and drug trafficking. So these are the some list of the crimes that comes under the cyber crime. All these things are not in our syllabus, though two things are there in the syllabus, but I will try to cover some more topics from this list. Let's see one by one. Starting with the phishing. Phishing is also called the identity theft. So phishing is one of the activity of information theft or identity theft. It is a method used by the most of the cyber criminals to acquire your sensitive information from the individual over the internet. Phishing is just like a phishing, F-I-S-H-I-N-G. So in phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, the hackers uses the various forms of the bats. Bats means like offers or the schemes to catch a victim. They try to get the username, password, credit card information, account data, etc. And in this, an imposter uses an authentic looking email or a website to trick the recipient, giving out the sensitive personal information. Next is a cyber troll and cyberbullying. Both are related to each other. Let's see one by one. Cyber troll refers to a person who purposely posting the insulting, dual meaning, or we can say the negative comments or the messages on the internet. So whenever we post anything on the social media, after one post, the people on the internet start fighting to each other by posting the messages related to the same topic. Some post in the for, some post in the against, and they start fighting. So trolling is simply a cyber crime, and it is closely related to cyberbullying. That is, it is a cyberbullying. Next is, what is cyberbullying now? Cyberbullying is when someone uses the phone or email, internet, chats, social sites to harass or demean or embrace or intimidate someone else is called a cyberbullying. So cyberbullying is also a cyber crime, and in this case, a victim has to pay damages. It may be a mental damages, it may be a depression, it may be a many type of losses can can take place in a cyberbullying. Next is cyber stacking or online harassment. Cyber stacking is a kind of the online harassment. In this, the victim, that is a cyber stacker, can gather the personal information and post this information over the public platform and can start sending unwanted emails from unwanted sites, maybe send threatening content and try to content with him or her. Now the next is spreading the rumors online. Spreading rumors means afwa. So spreading rumors online is also a cybercrime, and it is a punishable offense. According to the IT Act of the India, publishing or circulation of the rumors is a cybercrime, and it may invite the fine with the imprisonment of 3 years. So people are creating the fake profile on the internet and start posting the something unwanted, and this is spreading rumors online. Now the next is nowadays very rapidly growing, that is the scams, or called the financial fraud. In this scam or the financial fraud, which is a cybercrime, so in this the cyber criminals try to extract the money from from the ignorant people, and this scam is committed over the internet, so it is called the internet scam. Now the question is how we can avoid the scam. So to avoid the scam, the first important thing is never give your bank information to unsecure website, that is the website that do not have HTTPS protocol. The second is never reply any unknown emails. As I told previously, that you have to handle the emails carefully. Next, the important thing is never click on the link or the URL. Rather than clicking, you can better to type the URL in the browser. Next is about related to copyright. So what is copyright? Copyright is a tool that helps to protect the data, that your personal data. So it is a tool of IPR, that is intellectual property right. So I will create another video of the IPR where you can come to know about the IPR. So here, so copyright, we should remember one thing, that copyright product cannot be downloaded, copied, reproduced, and sold without the permission. If a person downloading or getting the files for which he or she does not have the permission to use, then he or she becomes the victim of cybercrime. Next is downloading a copy of licensed software, copyright content, movie, photograph, video, etc. is a cybercrime. These are the some points that helps you to overcome the scam. Next we'll see how to report a cybercrime. The question is, if any cyber crimes happens with you, what will you do? So if any cyber crime happens with you, then first report to parents, teachers, school authorities, and then police. Next is you can also go for the EFIR, that is electronic FIR, that is first information report. Every state has their own portal. For example, I have taken the example of Delhi Police. So Delhi Police have yeah, their own portal, that delhipolice.nic.in, where you will get the citizenservices.html. From this portal, you can file your complaint. The next is you can also visit to the Ministry of Home Affairs website and complain regarding your cybercrime. The portal is cybercrime.gov.in. So this way you can report your cybercrime. So now at the end I have added something about the hacking also. So let's see what is hacking and hacker. So hacker, who is hacker? So according to the English dictionary, a hacker means a person who uses the computer to gain unauthorized access to the data. So hacker is a professional, or hacker is a person who find and exploit the weakness in the computer system or the network to gain access. So hackers are usually the skilled computer programmers with a knowledge of computer security. So what is hacking? A hacking is an attempt to exploit the computer system or a private network inside a computer. Simply, it is the unauthorized access to or the control over the computer network security system for some illicit purpose. That is a hacking. Some hackers use their knowledge for the welfare of the society, government, for the people, for the state. Whereas some professionals misuse their knowledge. So let's see the different types of hackers depending on the activity they work. So hackers are classified according to the intent of their action, and the following list of the list classify the hackers according to their intent. So first is the ethical hackers that are called the white hat hackers, and these hackers are the computer professionals that who gains the access to the computer system with a view to fix the identified weakness. So they work for the welfare of the society. They work for the welfare of the individual. They always helps to troubleshoot the problems, and they also helps to perform the penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, etc. So in a cyber cell, they always cooperate with the police to overcome the cyber threats. Now the next is crackers. Crackers are called the black hat hackers, and these are the hackers who misuse their knowledge, and these are the hackers who gains the unauthorized access to the computer system for the personal gain. They do not think about the society, they do not think about the nation, they always think about their own benefit. So the intent is usually to steal the corporate data, violate the privacy right, transfer funds from the bank account, etc. And they are the crackers, and with them only the uh, hackers have the bad name. The third is gray hat hackers. So this gray hat hackers is in between the ethical and the black hat hackers. This type of hacker works like a ethical hackers also, and sometimes works like a crackers also. So he or she breaks into the computer system without the authority and with a view to identify the weaknesses and reveal them to the system owner. The next type of hackers is script kiddies. These are the non-skilled person who gain the access to the computer system using the already made tools. Next is the hacktivist. These are the hackers who use the hacking to send the social, religious, and political messages, etc. And they usually done by hijacking the website and they leaving the messages on the hijacked website. Next is the frackers. Frackers are another type of the hackers who identifies and exploits the weaknesses in the telephones instead of the computers. So depending upon the different types of the actions, so these are the 6 types of hackers. So that's all in this video. Though in the syllabus this hackers part is not there, but I have included it here. So I hope you all have understood about this chapter and the importance of this chapter in current scenario. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. So at the end, I request you all to just like, subscribe, and share this video to more and more students so that they can go through this chapter. Thank you.